I don't think I can get through a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce moment without crying. The Tokyo 2025 World Championships has come to an end. Yeah, it is over, which means Tokyo Drift has also come to an end. And I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Taekwondo Tracy for being a part of the program. Massive, massive success to say the least. I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how well, Tokyo Drift, did during the championship. But yeah, couldn't have done it without Taekwondo Tracy. So I want to say a big shout out and thank you to him for being a part of the program. Now we look forward to the next championships and whatever I deem to name it at that particular point in time. Now, of course, we look back at what was and of course enjoy those moments. And I've come up with 12 moments that have really stood out to me from the championships. Now, let's kick things off with the women's 4 by 400 meters, sitting right there pretty in the 12th position, returning Jamaica to where it should be, losing only to Team America. And who knows, we can chop down that big ox when we have the right four to do so. Now, these women came out and absolutely, delivered a fantastic silver medal. And I call them the baddies. We're talking about Dejane Oakley. We're talking about Stacey Ann Williams, as well as Andronette Knight. And also in the final leg or on the final leg for us, Nikisha Price delivering a fantastic silver medal. So well done, ladies. Fantastic job. And as I said, returning us, to one silver and two on actually on the podium because in 2024, that was the Olympics, but the baton fell, and many thought, oh, it's over for Jamaica. But the strength and depth that Team Jamaica has in the event, right? We should only really and truly be losing to America, and possibly even winning when it comes to these women's 4 by 400 meters. So yeah, good job, ladies. Well done. And yeah, another medal for Team Jamaica in the 4 by 4s. Now let's jump into the 11th moment that stood out to me, and that was the women's 4 by 100 meters. Now, going in, we're a little nervous. We're a little, apprehensive as it relates to what could be the outcome. One, it was raining, and we know that a number of our young athletes, struggle in the rain. Two, Shericka Jackson was not in the team. She pulled out because of injury. So everybody was like, okay, listen, we don't know what's going to go down. We're hoping for the best. It's not looking good, though. But surprisingly, Team Jamaica, led by the legendary Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, was able to anchor that team to a silver medal. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, absolutely. And they did fantastic. So the team led off by Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce into Tia Clayton, into Tina Clayton, into Janelle Smith. Did fantastic in the rain, conditions and all, to get us that, silver medal. Right now, when you look back at the replays and you see, what the ladies actually had to actually go through to ensure that the baton was secured, then yeah, I love it even more. I love that 4 by 100 meter silver medal even more. And that was a fantastic top moment for me at the championships. Four ladies coming together and doing well, being confident in one another and guiding, the team to a silver medal. So yeah, big shout out again to the team. Well done for that silver medal. Now coming in 10th position is Shericka Jackson, winning a bronze medal in the women's 200 meters. Now, Shericka Jackson came in as a defending champion in the women's 200 meters. However, this time she would settle for the bronze. However, she was very, very ecstatic winning that bronze because I think she dubbed it her hopeful medal, right? Because after 2024, and the setbacks that she faced, where she wasn't even able to take to the start list for the women's 200-meter finals at the Olympic Games, to come back from that injury and be able to snatch a medal at the global stage was fantastic and well done to Shericka Jackson. Of course, we enjoyed seeing her back where she belongs. Well, she actually belongs, right at the top because she's the fastest woman alive, 21.41 seconds. But for now, Shericka's like, guess what? I'll let you hold that medal for a second. I'm coming back for it in a couple of years. Don't worry about that. Shericka Jackson grabs us a bronze medal in the 200 meters. Now, let's dive into the ninth moment, I believe, that stood out to me, and that was the Tyler Mason winning bronze in the men's 110-meter hurdles. Now, for those that don't know, this is literally Tyler Mason's first time making the team. at, I believe, 29. First time making the team, not even in the top 10 in the world. No one was looking at him to even be a medalist. And he comes out and he takes advantage of this opportunity because he's like, look here, I've never been here before, but I'm ready to take it all. And he ran a fantastic race to get a bronze medal in the men's 110-meter hurdles. That is fantastic from Tyler Mason. And of course, we look forward to see how much this is able to propel him now that he's risen to the biggest stage and delivered what next for him. Right. So again, fantastic race. And yeah, a bronze medal for Tyler Mason. Now we're gonna jump into the number 8th moment for me at this particular championships, and that was Brian Levell winning the bronze medal in the men's 200 meters. Now, after Usain Bolt retired from the sport in 2017, yeah, it meant that our sure bet you would say for a medal in the 200 meters was no longer around. However, in 2017, Usain Bolt didn't compete in the 200. So really and truly, the last time that Jamaica medal in the 200 meters at the World Championships was actually in 2015, where Usain won gold. Of course, he did go on in 2016 to win gold at the Olympic Games. But yeah, those were the last medals that Jamaica got in the 200 meters. Fast forward to 2025, Brad Levell, 21, ready to rumble, comes out and absolutely shocks the world with a 19.69. And everybody goes, hold up, wait a minute. Can this young, precocious talent challenge? No, he could never, right? He doesn't have the experience at this level. Not gonna happen, says Brand Level. I'm here, I'm one of the best, and I'm ready to be on the podium. And he runs a blinder around the bend in the men's 200 meters, leading the likes of what would become four-time world champion in the men's 200 meters, Noah Lyles, leading him off the bend, leading the Olympic champion off the bend. That's Let's See the Toboho from Botswana, and of course, Noah Lyles is from the United States of America, as well as Kenny Bednarek, the other American that is ever present on the podium when it comes to the 200 meters. But guess what? After burning that bend, Brian Lavelle held his form and ended up with a bronze medal, returning Jamaica to the podium in the men's 200 meters and signaling that, hey, we're back. We are absolutely back in the men's 200 meters. So not only do we have strong representation in the 100 meters, but we also have strong representation in the 200 meters. What a fantastic run from Brian Lavelle getting that bronze medal. Now, into the 7th position we go, and the 7th moment, I believe, for us that stood out to me at least was Tajay Gayle winning the silver medal in the men's long jump. Now, of course, everybody knows that Jamaica took a heavy hit, losing one of our top flight athletes in the long jump. But Tajay said, hold up, wait a minute, did you all forget that I'm the national record holder? Did you all forget that I'm the first athlete to win gold in the long jump for Team Jamaica at the World Championships? I'm still here. And he turned up even after an injury riddled season and still managed to jump into the medals at the World Championships. Silver medal, 8.34. Fantastic, Tajay Gayle. And again, we can't wait to see what more he has because believe me, since winning that gold medal in 2019, he came back, won bronze in 2023, silver now in 2025. So he literally has a full set of medals. So guess what? He's ready now to take it to the next level, and we'll be here with him. So again, big performance from Tajay, garnering a silver medal in the men's long jump. Now, jumping into the 6th moment that stood out is Orlando Bennett grabbing the silver medal in the men's 110-meter hurdles, making Jamaica literally get, well, himself as well as Tyler Mason going away with literally an iconic moment for Jamaica, silver and bronze. But really and truly, Orlando Bennett coming into the national championships and taking the win there. However, didn't have an impressive season. But for those who know, Orlando Bennett is a championship performer. Since representing Jamaica in 2019 at his first, global championships, he has always turned up at championships and impressed. So going in, the thought process was like, hey, even though the world isn't looking at Orlando, Orlando will certainly come in and surprise he did. Not really us, but the world, letting them know that he has arrived, winning his first individual medal at the global stage, a silver medal in the men's 110-meter hurdles. And as I said, a set of medals for us in that event, silver actually, and bronze, courtesy of as well Tyler Mason. Now, jumping into the fifth moment that stood out is Kishane Thompson. Only 2 seasons. Really? 2 seasons in the sport? 2024, 2025. And my man has come out and been on the podium twice. Silver, this time in the men's 100 meters. Wow, fantastic. Letting you know that, look here, what happened in 2024 is no fluke. I've arrived on the biggest stage, and I'm here to stay. Right, so he walks away with a silver medal in the men's 100 meters. Fantastic race for him. Maybe if some would say not his best race of the season, but sometimes, really and truly, it's not down to how fast you go, but where you place. And where he placed was absolutely fantastic. A silver medal, as I said, in his second season, back in that silver medal up that he won in the men's 100 meters at the Olympic Games in 2024. Fantastic going for Kishane Thompson. Now, jumping into the fourth moment that stood out to us at the, well, I say us, but me, to me, at the um, World Championships, and that is Tina Clayton in the women's 100 meters, running away with silver. Many thought it wouldn't be possible for her to even get a silver medal. The most people were thinking that Jamaica would sniff, and I mean sniff because, of course, there's other competitors in the race, right? The most we would be able to sniff is a bronze medal because coming into the race, you had the likes of the Olympic champion Julian Alfred. You had the woman that was dominating all season, Melissa Jefferson Wooden. You also had the defending world champion Sha'Carri Richardson, as well as the legendary Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Shericka Jackson, Mary Jose Lou Smith. It was one of those 100-meter races where you would say, hold up, wait a minute, can it get any better than this as it relates to a lineup? But guess what? The never fearful, the fearless Tina Clayton turned up into that women's 100-meter final and said, Olympic champion who? Said legendary what? Said everything that she needed to say to herself to run herself into a fantastic silver medal. I enjoyed it to the max. Of course, I believed here over in TXT Track Time that, hey, questions would be asked in that women's 100-meter finals, and would all the ladies be able to answer? One lady answered, of course, and that was the winner, the eventual winner, which is Melissa Jefferson Wooden. However, that was the only one that responded to what Tina Clayton came with, a new personal best, 10.76 seconds, and a pretty shiny silver medal to welcome herself to the global stage. Her first time making it to this level. Remember, this is after her double win at the junior stage in the 100 meters. She rises to the senior stage, making her first team, and she walks away with a silver medal. What a way to announce yourself to the world. A fantastic race from Tina Clayton. So she ranks as fourth in this list. Now we're getting down to top three. Now, this one sweeted us. This moment in time sweeted us because, listen, we have amazing rivalry going on with USA, back and forth when it comes to the sprint, and we enjoy it. Well, at least I enjoyed, right? We talk our talk during our season, and of course, we turn up at the championships, and whichever team walks away on top, then that is it. And then we turn up, or we wait for the next championships, and we turn up then and do it all over again. And guess what? That's what happened in 2025. It came down to USA versus Jamaica, the men's 100 meters. Who will stand at top? How will the medals be divided? Going in, I was like, look here, it's Jamaica versus Jamaica. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise. And guess what? It was Jamaica versus Jamaica at the end of the day, with Jamaica doing what we've never done before in the men's 100 meters on the world stage, meaning the world championships, walking away with gold and silver, courtesy of Oblique Seville and Kishane Thompson. Yeah, we've done it before at the Olympic Games. We had Usain Bolt and Johan Blake walk away with gold and silver at the Olympic Games in London 2012. But this was the first time we did it at the world stage, right? First time we're getting gold and silver. And this was a moment where we said, to USA. It was one of those moments. We enjoyed it to the max. So, yes, big moment for Jamaica in our rivalry with USA. And yes, it stood out to us absolutely as a moment where USA was like, dang, we can't believe they actually did get gold and silver. We thought America would be slotted someplace, maybe gold, even silver, but just bronze. We can't believe it. I bet I want to believe it. I want to believe it. No, not true. All right. So that was our top three moment. Let's dive into our number two moment of this championships. And it might surprise some of y'all because some of y'all may think this position will be saved for number one, but actually it's Oblique Seville.
To his teammate Kishane Thompson.
Yep, Oblique Seville running away with gold in the men's 100 meters. What an epic story that will be told in years to come when it comes to Oblique Seville turning up in 2025 and winning the gold medal in the men's 100 meters. After trying numerous times and not being able to make it to the podium, he turns up in 2025 and he says, hey, I am that man to beat. Taking down a Kishane Thompson that was the heavy favorite heading into that race. But what was most important coming out of that race was that Oblique Seville was able to shed all those past failures with an actual gold medal that now propels him into a state of being and confidence, knowing that, hey, guess what? I can actually do it. Those years I wasn't ready, it wasn't my time, but this is my time. And it's going to be a hell of a thing to take down Oblique Seville going forward in the future. And I for sure am one that is looking forward to see him continue doing excellent on the global stage in the men's 100 meters and sucking it to our main rivals. I can't wait to see that continuation from Oblique Seville. Again, Oblique Seville announces arrival in the biggest way, winning the men's 100 meters, not just silver, not just bronze, but letting the world know that, listen, I have fallen numerous times, but that doesn't mean that I can't rise. And that certainly doesn't mean that I can't rise to the absolute top, which is exactly what he did in winning that gold medal. So, yes, it was an epic moment. And he said, put some respect for my name. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So Oblique Seville winning the gold in the men's 100 meters. Now, this takes us to the spotlight moment for me at the 2025 World Championships. And I'm going to try to get through this without being emotional. And that is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the iconic, the legendary Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, bowing out after 18 successful years in the championships or at global championships representing Jamaica, of course, representing herself. She leaves with a total of 26 medals. One actually won at the World Championships right there, winning a silver medal with her teammates in the women's 4 by 100 meters. But of course, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce doing Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce things and inspiring the next generation. One moment that really stood out to me was the women's 100 meters and her reaching for Tina Clayton and Tina Clayton's face. And that was a stamp of approval, letting Tina know that, hey, it's your time now. That's what happened in the women's 100 meters. And a moment that, yes, you can see me tearing up right now. It's a moment that was absolutely enjoyable to me, enjoyable to watch. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce handing over to the next generation to come. Something else that stood out to me with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce here at the World Championships was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce motivating the athletes to come out and do really, really well. And that leadership quality that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has will definitely be missed. Now, a moment that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce shared was before the 4 by 100 meters and seeing how it was, raining very heavily. She said to the athletes, make sure you keep your hand as dry as possible. And one of the athletes, Tia Clayton, took that to heart so much that the whole time she was standing there on the track, her hand was stuffed underneath her vest. That was the hand that she was going to use to receive the baton, was stuffed underneath her vest. And that I believe was her left hand was stuffed. Was it her left? Yeah, I think it was her left hand stuffed underneath her vest. And what was even more impressive was that she only removed her hand literally as she's watching Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. She's down on the track, she's bending, and she's waiting to accelerate from that position. Her hand is still stuck underneath her vest. And when she sees Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce hit the marker, that is when she removes it. So she gets up and she starts to run, and Shelly balls out, "Reach!" And she reaches for that baton and she gets it. And yeah, so that for me was another moment that stood out at the championships. But in continuing that 4 by 100 meters on the replay, you saw Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I don't know what she said, but somebody, somebody, on I think Twitter, tried to figure it out. And this is the closest thing I think, it seems as it relates to how she was, whatever she was mouthing, but it gave, you know, go give it to your sister. I for sure know the last word was sister. That was the last thing that she said. And I have to say, that sent chills through my body. Chills through my body. It was a really, really fantastic race. But yeah, that was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce ushering in the next generation in the realest way, right? As a team, letting them know that I've done my part and instilling all the vim, vigor, and vitality you would ever need from your teammate to ensure that you're able to pass on the baton, which of course Tia Clayton was able to do to Tina, and then Tina into Janelle. It was a fantastic race overall, and of course, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce played her part. So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce for me takes number one when it comes to the moments that stood out at the World Championships. Of course, for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, it was moments, that came together. But I think that those moments were integral, for the next generation and, what is to come for these athletes and how they themselves will be able to impart to the next future. A standard was set. I believe Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce left a standard that they will be able to live up to in imparting to the next generation. So yes, Trackies, really, really fantastic moment there with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, at the championships, representing for the final time and saying her farewells. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What were the moments that stood out to you, and how would you rank them? Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.